Hey, you will make it TV. Hey, you will make it TV followers, viewers, supporters, and listeners across the globe. Thank you for tuning in to another live segment with the You Will Make It TV YouTube channel, where we believe faith attracts possibilities. We also believe in inspiring one another, bringing the hope of inspiration back to the faces of the world. That's a big part of our mission here at You Will Make It TV. In case you're new to this channel, I'm Arthur Tedashiri, the founder of You Will Make It TV, and also our second channel, Crown Publishing Content. Really, this is our second channel, but feel free to tune in. You know, in your free time, look over there. You might find a topic or two that interests you. Um, and feel free to tune in. If you do tune in to one of our older topics, still hit that like button, share it, subscribe. We invite you and welcome you to do that here at You Will Make It TV. What inspired You Will Make It TV? The millions of stories across the globe, not just now, but in times before that have proven that where there's a will, there's a way. Okay. So, knowing these other stories exist across the globe, just miraculous stories of, to me, a miracle is something you just didn't expect at all. Like it's a miracle, okay? A blessing you might expect it. You might even work for it or try to show that you are worth earning such. Uh, a blessing is totally different, but I believe that God does have special people in special places to help us in our times of need. Period. There's nothing you can tell me about this. And the devil have sent some of his biggest giants to tell me about this. Like, no, God cannot bless you. God will not send people. God will not do this, that, and the third without a dollar or a dime. God does not need money. I'm here to remind us that we use money. Nowhere in the spiritual realm or the body of Christ did you need money. And now you can be deceived to think such. I don't know. I don't even think anything in the spiritual world would be willing to deceive you in that way to tell you that yeah, your money matters in the spiritual world, in the world where things also get very real. But today I'm not here to just speak ministry wise. When we talk kingdom business, in my opinion, kingdom business is also work. Maybe I'll come and do a speaking on that, right? The parable Christ gave the people one day, about the workers. The 11th hour, it was the 11th hour, and these workers were looking for work. Really, they was just standing out, hanging out. And when I read that, it made me think of like the people that be hanging out at the liquor stores and the corner stores and just pretty much outside because they're homeless, right? It was kind of like that. Y'all got to be able to break down and recognize because they'll tell you in the King James Version, the words in red are of Christ. And all these other words, like, because if you pay attention, Christ can be speaking in red, but he will very much tell you right there, hey, this is a parable. This is not a true story. This is an analogy. This is a similarity. This is something to teach you a lesson. That's what a parable is. I wouldn't say a riddle, but something like that. Because it's for some reason when you tell people straightforward, they say they want it that way, but when you do, they really can't even take it. So they rather you sugarcoat it down or water it down, but it really doesn't take that. Uh, so the parable was these guys were waiting in the vineyard. They were just out there because they hadn't been invited. I'm sorry, they hadn't been invited to work in the vineyard. Nobody wanted to hire them. Maybe it's because they didn't have enough skills, or that's what they were telling the man too. The good man. I think that's how they describe him in the parable. That good man turned around, y'all, and ended up. He said, "Let me make y'all a deal. If I can get you a job today." I guess it was a test for the non-working brothers and sisters, but he was just like, if I can get y'all a job today, will you be at work? And not only did he get them work in the vineyard, they were making, on their first day coming in, they were already making the same salary or pay as the people that had been there for 5 years, 10 years, 25 years, right? I didn't think this mattered as much because I know I read this in the Bible for myself before. And at the time, I had studied it for a while and applied it to my own life. Not gonna lie, I had to look at how many times I had sat around feeling like I'm quote unquote without work because somebody didn't want to hire me or somebody didn't feel like my skill set was, uh, applicable. Like, who wants to keep manuring through life like that? And that parable showed us what living our life like that can cause you. It's just like y'all judge the people standing outside of the liquor stores and stuff, but why do you think they out there? It is something to think about, and this is was even in the Bible. So, I just believe in it. When I do become on a bigger scale with my business, I do plan to always do my best to try to help others with work. So, anyways, that's just the whole example I was trying to give. It goes back all the way back to ancient texts. People not being considered qualified, deemable for a certain position or job of work, period. Like, this goes all the way back to ancient times where a person might feel like they're qualified, they're deemed, they have everything they need for their job. They feel like they're physically fit. All they need to be done is trained on the job. But this is not new. People being turned away for things like their background or their drug history or something they did in life, right? And it's crazy. We are living in a time where now everybody want to dig deep into the backgrounds of who they're hiring, but this has always mattered. And I thank God that we live in a better time now. I'm actually thankful to see that more people that are just being quote unquote hired are being looked into. Like, as late as it seems to be happening, it's still good that it's happening for sure. Because you have a lot of people in positions of power that will have you looked into. We must know this. I'll tell my story on another day on how I learned this. You could be whole, in a lesser level or position of somebody, and they still not want the best for you, not the ultimate best. And the best to some people is you doing better than them. So they not gonna want that for you. You being around is enough. You being around and acknowledging them and speaking and just not doing better than them. You see what I'm saying? Like, some of us know what they feel like. So you have to ask people, why did they choose? What caused their entrepreneur journey? What caused them to become a freelancer? I know. I've been knowing for years. And so that's a little bit about what I came to talk about tonight on live. How I've been knowing that entrepreneurship was the best way for me. So boom, let's get into it. Why I prefer work that allows me to be the boss. Let's talk about it. It has nothing to do with narcissism. It has nothing to do with control. It has nothing to do with trying to take the easy way out. There is nothing easy about working for yourself. First of all, if you agree, hit that like button. but there's nothing easy about working for yourself, period. And then some of us prefer work that allows us to be the boss. Well, I'm gonna speak for me because first and foremost, it allows me to take care of myself. Now that might sound crazy to y'all, but just because you catch a person in a season of their life doesn't mean that's a habit they practiced their whole life or that's the way they was living their whole life. I just felt like some people needed to be reminded of that. You catch a person a year of their life and you think you know everything they've been through. That's the thing. That's why when they pop out doing entrepreneur stuff, you're the one lost and they're not. They knew what they could do the whole time. And this is what I love about being a freelancer and working for myself and having the skills to work for myself when I need to. Because it ain't even about proving anything, but God is good. He wanted people to see this time. Like this is her life on the other side, bro. Like y'all not wanting her to work, y'all not wanting her to put these services out here. Y'all not wanting somebody to operate in their purpose. This is what it looked like. Whatever you have seen in the past, or maybe even a little bit of my current energy. You know what I mean? But that's what that looked like. That's who in a right mind don't want to just wake up every morning not wanting to contribute to the world in no type of way. I know it's people like that out there, but we cannot just like put people in a category or box and say they like that because they're a young black person. Like that's stupid. People have whole reasons why they become bosses or prefer to work alone. First of all, you don't have to worry about nobody. That's why I'm stating this openly live too. I work alone. And when I was willing to do contractual business with people, that's what it was, contractual business. Like you don't own a part of my business, I don't own a part of yours. We are not affiliated that close. This is just business. There are contracts that can help you to seal those type of deals. There are legal business lawyers that can help you seal these type of deals. Okay, but sometimes the easiest way and most efficient, self-sufficient way is just to do a contract. Have somebody sign a contract. Have a contract behind all your work. Or before you're contracting with other people, my story is just a little different. People decided they were gonna slap me on their contracts and just force me into that whatever they wanted me to be in. And that's crazy. What they trying to say, like, oh, we slap her name on it, we got it. Okay, but how are you affecting that person's life? So it is something to think about. Um, period. So 1 second, guys. Okay, so I'm back or whatever, y'all. But I left off saying, because we got to check on the babies. If y'all didn't see that already, I made an announcement post about my new transportation ride share program, assistance program that I'm gonna be launching behind the scenes. Uh, Feel free to refer to the community board, and this is just the tip. This not even the tip of the iceberg of ideas or just things that I've been sitting on for far too long now. I left off on the last segment just using myself for an example, explaining how before I had my last baby, uh, I was working on. That's where y'all can reference to that on the at Crown Publishing Content YouTube channel. If you go back like 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, it's gonna definitely show that I was putting in some type of work and effort into being able to provide homeschool assistance, resources, services, and referrals for homeschooling learners and parents, or let me just say families. So I can't say I feel bad. That's not the feeling, but I do feel I'm gonna feel a void until I'm actually able to see that vision come. You know what I'm saying? And it makes me feel great to know I'm helping in some kind of way. Maybe you can't immediately start the homeschool services idea right back up at the moment, but you can help to make sure that learners are able to access educational places before and after school care, okay, summer camps, anything they got to do with educational purposes. You Will Make It TV, Crown Publishing Content wants to come together. Anybody else that's interested in becoming a donor or a sponsor is encouraged to come together with us. Email me inquiries at makeityouville01@gmail.com. Okay, but it's like I can't never get through a full segment without talking about another business venture I'm on. But this is a main reason that I prefer to work alone. I prefer work that allows me to be me to be my own boss. That's what I mean by that. How am I fully being my own boss when I have to schedule appointments around my work schedule? Okay, for example, like if I hate to give such a drastic example, but if I was going through quote unquote a sickly phase, or one of my children were sick, God forbid, or you're just going through something that could interrupt anybody's life, interrupt the uh, routine, any type of schedule you might have had going on. One person being affected in the family does affect the whole family. Any of y'all that have raised families, you know where I'm coming from, but this is the truth about it. For all the negative Nancy's out there, in every family, all individuals are going to need different accommodations. You can't pay me to believe more than half of households in America have every accommodation every child in the household needs. And I'm not just talking about medically, I'm talking about mentally, physically, spiritually, right? Emotionally. It just seems like if it's not one thing, it's another. Everybody's family is different. So if we know that this part about life is inevitable, especially these days, like, and one family member's health could, that's why they say we all a paycheck away from really being homeless or really being in a different situation. I didn't mean to go straight drastic and say homeless, but we're all just a step away from that, really. Because if the breadwinner in your house falls ill or breaks a limb or has to be out from work for surgery, for medical leave for a little while, how are you going to make ends meet? Okay, and we're not talking about rich households, but this segment is not reserved just for low income families or nothing like that. Like I said, these days anybody can benefit from a topic like this. But uh when these things happen, and they are inevitable, where I left off saying, What if you could already be doing work that you don't necessarily, you might have to slow down, but you don't all the way have to stop every time something intervenes or occurs or becomes an imbalance in your life. Okay, I would say learning how to ride the waves. We all better learn how to do it. You want to talk about strength? Surfers are stronger than y'all think. Y'all think they're just people with nice bodies that get out there on surfboards and ride the waves. They actually are very toned, have a lot of muscle. They're very strong in the legs. I'm sure it takes a lot of ab muscle as well. But they this is another, if you will, independent sport or independent type of work, depending on how what they're trying to do with their work, and that's with any sport. But as an athlete, that's pretty much independent work. I don't care if you are a part of a team. It's going to take you being self accountable, uh, able to recognize the strength in yourself and how you are first the asset to the team uh, before anything else. Boom. I'm just trying to make sure I covered all my commentary and reaction to my own commentary down here. Feel free to leave y'all's in the live chat. But why I prefer to indulge in work that allows me to be the boss. Let's talk about volunteer positions. Nobody wants to talk about those no more because these are usually only mentioned when you're mentioning internships or early college student, but you're never too young or old to be a volunteer anywhere. You don't have to be on probation either or a community service to have to do probational type work. Okay. Well, volunteer work is what I meant to say. You don't have to be anybody special. A lot of times, that's the point of being a volunteer. You're trying to gain more work experience, more skills, more social skills, right? So yes, experience you gain through probationary periods or community service periods. I would say it's still experience if you learn how to use those experiences to your very best benefit. They say that really you don't want to take advice from somebody that you feel like is not getting money. I'm gonna tell y'all something. A lot of these people, there's millionaires that's done put books out about like how to make $1 million in 10 days or how to flip houses. And what's funny is like I'm not being funny, but how many people do we really see? Like I know in some businesses this do happen, like insurance and stuff, like just certain type of work, just because I know because I have experience, but not so much with insurance, but being around a crowd for sure. Between trying to obtain insurance for yourself, all kind of different insurances. I've had all kind of business insurance, car insurance. Like you seem like you need insurance for everything these days. Renter's insurance. I'm just saying, I know what it's like to be at the level where I'm paying for all of it at the same time. It's never no in between for me. I'm paying it all. I'm paying it all on time by myself. I have seen myself at that level, not just your everyday bills, but bills you add onto your everyday bills to try to keep your security as safe as possible. Especially when you work independently. I feel like the sooner more of us catch on to that too, we'll see more positive changes when it comes to. I'm not saying that we can delete all hackers and spammers in the world, but we can start working in more stronger regards to the security side. The security side that's available for people to take advantage of and keep themselves protected as entrepreneurs. Okay. My next thing I said here was I'm trying to get it to pull up. Okay, independence and freelancing doesn't mean rich. A lot of people just automatically assume you rolling in a pile or uh, street load of money just because you're a freelancer, just because you choose to work when you love to work. And I can speak for me when I say I love life that way. People like to sit back and weigh your struggles and stuff like that, but you got to ignore that type of stuff because people don't know it take money too to make money. You got to invest in yourself, and that could be a whole reason you eat sandwiches for a week versus them just thinking you was broke and struggling. They saw you eat them sandwiches for that week or two, but really when you pop out with that new business, that new whip, that new career transition, that new hairstyle, they don't know what's going on. All they saw was that you ate sandwiches for a week. They saw what you went without, and people like to put that on blast. I don't know why, but they just like, look at what this person didn't have. They bro I mean, this generation is crazy. Like, I'm saying I'm personally don't do that because you don't know why that person went without what they went without. You don't know that unless that person told you. Uh-huh. And I know this firsthand because it's been times that I feel like I've made sacrifices in certain areas of my life. I didn't need anybody to sacrifice me. But imagine it having people probably trying to sacrifice you at the same time while you are willingly sacrificing things already because you want. I mean, I am definitely have to be marked with a blessing. Like, definitely have to be on the fast track to a blessing at this point. You have people trying to uh, hex your progress while you're literally, it doesn't get any smoother. I'm just saying, as far as transition, you don't have to transition much if you're already at home and you start a business from home, or you start a business that allows you to work from home. I don't care what kind of entrepreneur you are. Some you can't be at home, like a mechanic. He has to be outside, or he got to go meet up with people to do his work. That's what I'm thinking. People at the end of the day just be jealous of. Like, they don't want to see you sitting back making no type of what might seem to be like easy money. And it's a sick world. Because they'll take it out on you like, hey, I'm not the one that said we got to have money. But if we got to strategize to this thing, through this thing, we all feel like we need a lot. But why? Is it going to fulfill us, right? Is it to have a certain outer appearance? I always used to joke with my kids and tell them if I ever became a millionaire, people probably wouldn't know it. A part of me wants to try an experiment like that. Just stay the same. Let them keep treating me how they was treating me, looking at me how they was looking at me. Can my level of intellect and emotional intelligence handle a test like that? You rich, so I practiced that in life already. You have a rich mindset. You're able to produce riches, period. They could take every bag of gold. I'm not the leprechaun. I'm not finna come after you over one or a few bags of gold that you stole. if I'm truly if I'm truly able to produce gold, like, I'm not trying to compare myself to the leprechaun because I don't know if he was able to do that. Obviously not, because he's been known to chase people down. Like, that's a part of what the leprechaun is about. Like, you don't touch that gold. It's like a whole law when it comes to leprechauns. I was saying with me though, for a great analogy of inspiration, uh, I'm not going to go crazy over a few bags of gold that I feel like was. I'm not saying that it's right for anybody to steal gold from anybody or condoning that type of behavior. But if it were to happen to me, if it were to happen to me, if I'm able to truly produce gold, it wouldn't matter in my eyes how much you take, because that's the thing. People try to put all this attention on how long you're taking, what you're gonna do next, where are you getting the funding? Well, let's do an experiment. If we don't help her, is she still gonna produce? Sometimes I think that's what life is too. people doing that, they playing that one on me, like, because people get that curious. They want to know if they don't help, what God gonna, they feel like, yeah, we're leaving God no choice. But people don't know, even when you're helping somebody, that is God using you. How else does a person get help? It don't just be falling out the sky. God is using people. Just like the devil uses people, God can use people. Now it's up to you what you do with those opportunities. Period. That's where you see a lot of people getting karma, whatever. God done use whole people in people face to bless them, to help them, to lead them to a better way. And they just, it's one thing to reject it, but to like stomp all over it, abuse it, we got to be careful. We try to make this about a person's work or business. It's so stupid. I can tell people one thing, because you could be living a whole life, but people got you. You think you living a whole life, but people got you living a whole nother life. But I just make jokes to myself, like, people tried to make me look like something else so hard that they don't even know. Like, if I was really that, if I had created this and that about myself and put myself out there like that, like people trying to make me look, I wouldn't have even been as sloppy. Like, I bet it's sloppy. Like, if I had the opportunity to go look at some of the negative things they've framed about me out here, I wouldn't even want to. I wouldn't want to look at it. Yeah. Because if it doesn't have something to do with my business, and I know that my business I'm running by myself, that's not something I want to look at. But I can guarantee you, it's not as professional. Like, it doesn't have my signature on it. That's all y'all got to look at. My signature, even if I'm out here doing a certain type of work, why would I be ashamed of it? Why would I be out here trying to pretend like I'm something else? I'm telling you, I would be the best version, best actor, screen actor, whatever they trying to make me look like out here. I would be the best one y'all ever seen. I would do my best performance. That's what I'm saying. No matter what arena you throw me in, and that's the kind of mentality we have to have, because people already on that mission. Just like, okay, we can clock what you're able to do just by looking at your bank account. I knew what they was doing it when they did it. Cause they're not understanding still. A person that knows what it look like to have money in it and what it looks like when you don't, you can't trick them with it. If they clearly know what it's like to not have money or be in a rut, they also would know survival skills. Cause dude, what y'all think? How y'all think people be making it? Like, how you think they got through something to get to the next level? They had to survive something. So I don't know what kind of studies they've been seeing, but this is what I've been observing. Period. Uh, Now let's talk about this as parents, taking care of home first. Home bodies, the significance of home bodies. I mean, do they really matter like they used to? Because everybody got to work to make ends meet today. So uh, I just want to break the stigma that a homebody is some type of broke weirdo. You can be a homebody, but still, if you choose not to live a certain life, certain things shouldn't even be trying to like creep up on you or affiliate itself with you. You know, like if these things are making it clear and these people are making it clear, we don't like that person. We don't feel like, and they got to go as far as making rumors about a person and doing all this extra stuff. Uh, what do you need to do with a person's home? Because a person is taught to take care of that first. A person, a real mother to me, will stop everything she got going in her life to see what's going on in her home. That's how powerful. That's how, like they say, women have an intuition or they can feel their kids. You know, they have a sixth sense where they can feel their kids' emotions and they can feel if their kid has been hurt or something. I believe in it. But I would say it's the same thing with a woman's home, even if it's a temporary home. You know what I mean? She Is not a woman if she's not putting home first. Now, people are so silly. Putting home first do not mean being at home all day. Home first is going to be like your personal, immediate family business. Is everybody secure? Is everybody safe? Is everybody taken care of? Has everybody eaten? If that side of your life, if it doesn't have the most attention, that's what I'm saying. Your home life has to be first. We all know society has taken us in a direction where it's kind of hard to be uh, home first for a lot of us. We think we're putting home first because it's clean. Uh, I mean, we just want to be careful with that. I'm encouraging people to know whether or not you are putting home first. Are you the happiest you could be before you go outside smiling in everybody else's face? It's just crazy. I think about stuff like this, and they're just fine with you being broken. I'm telling you, people act like they just fine with it. They okay seeing you that way because it give them something to talk about. But when you actually take the time and separate yourself to try to do something, at least something different, because they say if you do the same thing over and over again, it's insanity expecting different results. You expecting different results doing the same thing over and over, they call it crazy. So people can just see a little difference. You ain't even doing the same thing over and over, you just did something a little different. You did something just a little bitty tad bit different and they noticed it. People don't let you get as far as changing, they see even a little difference. They like, uh-oh, hold on, wait a minute. And yeah, if you see a person that used to be more outside more, be at home more, that's a whole different type of conversation. Uh, I've always said that like you pay all this rent, you need to be at home. People need to be at home. Don't wait till it's all kind of dangerous outside these days to tell people they need to get out more. It's nothing wrong with getting out. It's people going on whole trips into third world countries. People going to trips out there, not making it back home, and y'all steady telling people, "Yeah, go outside, go." So my point is, whether you're outside or in the house, the conclusion I've come to, whether you're outside or in the house, danger can find you if that's what it's it's supposed to do. That's why you have crimes that happen to people at home, crimes that happen to people outside. What y'all mean? Some people have been vandalized, broken in on, ran in on, and they was asleep. They at home minding their business. But people say, no, you need to get out. I mean, like I said, ain't nothing wrong with getting out, but just being more aware too. When it comes to the times that we are currently living in, you want to at least find what you've never been grateful for at home too. That's why I was talking about putting home first. How to some people that literally looks like you just don't get out enough. No, if you need to take a year or two out of your life and truly put home first for a while, I'm saying home first needs to be all your life. But when we become mature adults, if you need to take 6 months, 3 months, I didn't mean to jump straight and say a year or two, but that was me lately. Like, I done had a whole baby recently and stuff. I need time to readjust to life. It's like, I guess you could say it's kind of like getting out of prison when you're down for 9 months, sick, and your body is not the same. You feel different after you had a baby, and then you need to get find the kick and swing of things that works for you when it comes to routine and schedule. So yep, I might have just had a big playtime or time off, and I couldn't even have it to myself to tell y'all the truth. People wanted to see what I was doing, all and like, oh, she making transitions, she going here and there, she's traveling. It's like people had to know. You know what I'm saying? But the whole time, you think you're taking care of home first. You're an entrepreneur. You should have that right as a freelancer. If you need to take time off your business and focus on home, nobody should be doing nothing to your business or your personal life just because they feel like, oh, that person out taking time for themselves. Look how people jealous get it at. All they got to do is take time out for their own self. But they rather come bother your peace. Just talking about life a little bit tonight and just the world and how it's drastically changing. We structure our lives around money, then we fail and wonder why. How can we earn while keeping family time essential? So that's what led to that question, or that's what led me to ask y'all or show y'all how I think this could be a benefit people more taking the time out to find work that is going to work and shifts and everything to do with work. How can you earn while also keeping family time just as essential as you earning? Because we'll all agree family time is essential. But when we have to put it on a scale, when we put it on a scale and weigh family time versus earning, see, that's where people mess up. They're going to put earning above family time every time. They're going to put chasing riches and trying to get money, they're going to put that above family time. But I feel like the sooner we can get more to a place where people are not having to choose, things are so high and so costly that people are having to choose between family time and going to work, even if they're working for themselves. They could be right at home and you can't really be attentive to your household members because you're busy working in your house. So there's no shortcut way. I don't know who told y'all things are easier just because a person doing stuff from home. That's really crazy. I just feel like maybe they're more observing the comfortness in it all, the convenience in it all, but that don't mean you don't still have to cook, clean up, do your daily functions, take care of yourself, take care of your kids, take care of your job, take care of your business, take care of your car and maintenance if you got one, take care of your bills. Just imagine. But yeah, those of us that are adulting, we know a person ain't always just broke because you saw them broke. They made a sacrifice and ate a bowl of noodles 3 times a day for a week because they wanted to be able to pay for their website. What were they supposed to do? Wait on a business grant, a business loan, go out there and fundraise? I'm just giving fun legal ways that you can raise money for a business. But some people choose to take the little bit they have and invest it, or it became a habit of mine because I feel like I would just see a quicker return. It's quicker, it's a quicker process than sitting there like, oh, how I'm gonna raise this, who gonna contribute, who gonna support it, because people would try to hurry up and say that you're trying to gain funds for other reasons. That's not one they can hang over my head personally because I've always been known to. I'll take my own little bit of money. I'll take my last $5 and invest it. Not just spend it. Spend it is one thing, but I'll invest it. It could seem something so little to the next person and to some graphic art design app, or I'll invest it into like a book cover to a book I ain't thought about writing in 3 years, right? But at least you invested. You do have a book cover to use when you decide to put that work to work too. Because something like a book or an album or a movie, that's work that once you put out there, it works for itself. People prefer your work or they don't. Period. Most work speaks for itself. So you got to let the work do that. When we move to a time in society where people are doing more talking than the work, that's where people confuse. Right is being called wrong, wrong being called right. People think that they supposed to be louder than the work. Everybody's supposed to see them. But really people more respect hard work. Most people still are this way, thank God. They don't believe in robots, they don't believe in computers, especially people with hands-on jobs like handyman type jobs. Like they don't technology is great to them and everything, but they still work with their hands. And we just respect all those of the world and thank those firefighter, hands-on type careers, right? Where technology is not such a big deal. But yeah, going back to that question, how can we earn while keeping family time essential? How do we do that? Because we know you need to earn. We know family time. I say on a balance scale, they should be equal. But is that really possible? People just keep talking about how it was in the old day, and the men went to work and the women stayed at home. That's still the father. I know the Bible say you don't work, you don't eat. But why are we not creating jobs? Like some of them work the land right at home with their families. They saw their fathers all day long because their fathers was right outside in the backyard or the front yard, tilling the ground, making sure they had food to eat for the next season. Other fathers, they went to jobs. But I'm saying, either way you look at it, the more time a parent spends out of the home, the more time that is being taken from the essentialness of building that family up into a stronger foundation. Okay. These are just things we learn along the way as freelancers, as a platform that's inspiring others to branch out, lean more on their own visions and dreams too. Because you might have a work that can be essential to the world that you're sitting on. Maybe you just need a little push, you need a little inspiration. So that's what we're here to do tonight. A big part of hustling, this is just another one of my quotes or whatever, but a big part of hustling was always sacrifice. Okay, so it's just going back to what I was talking about. I don't care how broke a person look to y'all. Be careful who you judge. They could be totally investing their last, their first, their middle, everything they got. Not through the ways that people try to make you look like you was doing it either. They were literally investing the money, the return they were able to see, where they're able to see it. If everybody trying to take from you all the time, where are you able to see any money to even invest in yourself? What you do with $100, what I do with $100, two different things. I would try to invest at least 20 of it if I'm an entrepreneur somewhere into my business. I'm just saying 20 to be, fair. Like that's the minimal. Some people they gonna spend their whole 100. Some people they gonna flip it. I don't know what they gonna do, but me, that's just a habit. I made that like a part of my regular routine. Make sure I'm investing in this business. Make sure you are paying yourself, right? When I've been on those levels of business too, are you just putting everything back in to the supply every time you make a dollar? Are you so all you doing is able to fund yourself some gas to continue selling to the customers? Do you have money left to invest in this and that? Are you paying yourself? Or are you just taking every dollar you make, going it back and flipping it too? So it's a lot of different things to look at when we talk about the life of an entrepreneur, but it's real and why some of us prefer work that allows us to be our own boss. So a big part of hustling, like I started off saying, was always sacrifice. But I end this segment saying this: God wants us to obey our thirst for Him. There is not a work that you can lay out on the table that He can't bless. A business idea, a story you want to put out, whatever it is, He can bless it if you put your thirst for Him first. Okay, that's pretty much the secret here. At the end of the day, all people can do from there is try to fight you putting Him first, but that's a self will thing. Like you can't take that from nobody. They self will is definitely a gift from the Most High God, from the highest version of good that exists. It has to be, because you got a lot of evil people use their self will for evil purposes every day. They just choose to be evil. So, but that's their will, and it's a gift from God, not evil. Evil is not a gift. You know what I'm saying? But people's will, their choice, Your will is just that. You see what I'm saying? What you want. But to actually act on it, that's when it becomes a choice. And that's why he's just trying to help us at the end of the day. Like, hey, put me first, and then that business you want, that car you want, whatever it is. The Bible say that too. Seek you first the kingdom of heaven, and these things shall be added unto you. It don't matter who been stealing from you. I told you, I compare myself to the leprechaun. If you can just produce gold, I mean, all people can do is try to steal it. But we know with the story of the leprechaun, there's something bad that would happen to people that steal his gold. You know, they would be cursed in some type of way until they return it. But like I said, that's different if you feel like you just have the type of powers to produce gold, then what does it really matter, right? People wondering why you didn't slow down, stop, get mad when you found out certain things. Like, if you know you had a ability to produce gold, why would you why would you spend too much time crying? Which maybe some of us went through different things on our journeys to come about to these conclusions. But I'm just trying to be an inspiration to others. Remember to subscribe. You will make it TV for more inspirational quotes, content, and messages, insightfulness in 2025. We love you.